Prince Okpama was the most handsome warrior in the whole of Benin Kingdom. He was also a Lothario, and the maidens of Benin Kingdom were captivated by him. He had dozens of mistresses and was fond of seducing chaste maidens. Under the veil of the dark night, he made sweet false promises to the naive maidens, but by the break of dawn, he would disappear with their innocence, leaving them dismayed and heartbroken. Parents often warned their daughters to stay away from the undisciplined prince. One night, he met a beautiful Ishan witch named Susu. Susu fell hard in love with Prince Okpame and believed his lies that she would be his princess. But like his past conquests, after knowing her all through the night, he abandoned her by morning time. Not long after this, his brother Oba Ezoti, the Oba of the Benin Kingdom, died, and the crown prince, Prince Owere, who lived in another town, as is the customs of Benin Kingdom, was recalled back to take his father's place. Though Prince Okpame was a rascal, he was also a brave warrior. And so the elders of the Benin Kingdom, the Uzama nobles, got together and appointed Prince Okpame to bring back his nephew. The night before he was to travel to retrieve his nephew, Prince Owere, the scorned witch invited him to her room. "Just one last time," she said to him, "I won't ever disturb you again." But Susu had a sinister plan. She fed him a charmed meal to poison his mind and avenge her defiled body. Susu had charmed her meal with dreadful herbs that when eaten would turn the person insane. But Prince Okpame was of strong mind, and though he didn't turn insane, what occurred next, some would say, was much more horrendous. The prince's mind went blank and temporarily gave him new thoughts, evil thoughts to hate his nephew. On their journey back home, a terrible fateful moment unfolded. As Prince Okpame looked at his nephew, he grew mad with hate and bitterness. Suddenly, he seized a weighty rock and mercilessly struck down the young prince, leaving him bloody and dead. After Prince Okpame came to his senses, he was overcome with grief and confusion. He ran to the river to wash the blood off his hands and rode all night with the body of the prince. As he arrived at the palace compound, he cried, "It was mysterious assassins that had ambushed us, and they killed the young prince." But Eholo, the venerable elder of the Uzama nobles, was skeptical. A simple glance of Prince Okpame's body was all he needed to know the simple truth. Prince Okpame had killed the heir to the Benin Kingdom. "But why is there no blood on your hands? Not even a scratch. Why would the assassins kill only the heir and leave you to go free?" the elder chief asked. "After all, you are next in line." The prince challenged the wise elder. "Why would there be blood on my hands?" "Abomination!" someone screamed. It was obvious what the prince had done, and everyone at the gathering could see that Prince Okpame had had a hand in the death of their prince. So the Uzama nobles agreed to punish him. As a direct descendant to the Skygod Igodo, Prince Okpame could not be executed. So instead, they banished and excommunicated him. The Ebe tattoo, 17 large stripes, reserved only for murderers and those who had done abominable acts, were carved onto his body. It was so that everywhere he goes, strangers would know his crime, But that wasn't all. Oloe Aha, mother of the deceased prince, placed a curse on Prince Okpame. "May you die in 3 months' time for the sorrow you have caused me," she said as he fled the kingdom. But Baba Ohen, the chief priest, thought the curse too high a punishment for a person of royal Benin blood. So he murmured incantations into a bowl, threw the charmed contents onto the back of the banished prince, saying, "But may your life be spared should a good place find you." The betrayal was so abominable that it shook the kingdom to its core, leaving a void where once there was anticipation and promise. The story echoed to all parts of the kingdom and even beyond. It even got to Ora, a little village at the far end of Benin Kingdom. There, a beautiful maiden named Ejemen lived with her little sister and her farmer father and mother. Ejemen was very kind and hardworking. On this cold Harmattan day, she woke up just before the first cock crows and went into the rainforest to catch some bush rats for the family's morning meal. Ejemen saw a bush rat scurrying past her and ran to trap it when she tumbled on the wet grass of the rainforest. The noise of Ejemen's tumble woke Prince Okpame. He had journeyed for several hot days and several cold nights until he arrived at Ora. Since arriving at Ora, the one time he had visited the village market square, and immediately he was forced to flee and take refuge in the rainforest. After the villagers of Ora had sighted the Ebe tattoos on his body, which revealed his evil past. Although the rainforest was a dangerous place for the average man, but it was not for Prince Okpame. Back home, he had mastered the art of hunting. He was also a skilled warrior and had fought in many battles alongside the former Oba. He was the greatest warrior and hunter in the whole of Benin Kingdom. Here in the rainforest, he created a home with wild animals. He had made peace with his reality and awaited the day he would die. Now he hid behind a rock, watching this village maiden scurrying after a bush rat. After she tried and failed to catch the bush rat, a noise startled her. It was a leopard. It had heard the sounds of a human and came out to catch his prey. Before he could leap into the air, a silent arrow flew straight at his leg, wounding the wild animal. It turned its attention straight at Prince Okpame and gave the prince a large slash across his chest just before fleeing away into the rainforest. Ejemen watched in terror as the stranger who had just saved her fell on the floor, blood oozing out of his chest. Frightened and uncertain, she was about to run back home, but he called out, "Wait, I am badly wounded. I need your help." And then he fainted there and then. Ejemen was afraid, but since he had saved her from the leopard, she knew it would be wrong to leave him in the cold rainforest all alone. She carried his lifeless body all the way to her home and kept him in an empty farmhouse. Prince Okpame woke up to see that it was night again, and the Ora maiden he had rescued was sitting in the corner waiting for him to wake up. Happy to see that he was awake, she questioned him about the Ebe markings on his body. She wondered how someone who could save her from a wild animal attack could have gotten such evil markings, so Ejemen fed him and asked him to be on his way. Prince Okpame left, and for many days he stayed in the rainforest all by himself. But he could not get over the maiden who had taken him to her home, and despite seeing his Ebe markings, had cared for him and given him food to eat and nursed him back to health. So the prince began to take care of Ejemen and her family. Every morning he would hunt for food, then leave a heap of his killings on their doorsteps. And by daybreak, when the family woke up, they were always happily surprised to see so much food. Eventually, they had so much food that Ejemen took some to the market on market day to sell. It so happened that Esosa, her little sister, accompanied Ejemen to the market one good day. As Ejemen was selling the food produce, little Esosa ran to play with the other children. Unbeknownst to her, two ruthless slave hunters, hidden by their robes, were watching Esosa. They were fond of kidnapping the children of Ora and selling them off to the white man slave traders as slaves. They lay, hiding in plain sight, waiting for Esosa to be alone, then grabbed her when no one was watching, carting off with her. Evening fell, and Ejemen, realizing her sister hadn't returned, went from one market stall to the next, searching and searching for her, but could not find her. Then Prince Okpame appeared. He asked her what the problem was. She told him that Esosa, her dear little sister, was missing, until Mama Echo, the palm wine tapper's wife, told them that it must be the slave hunters. They had been kidnapping the children of Ora, and that was why the villagers of Ora were wary of strangers. They've probably taken them to the camp, where they keep them till it's time for their ships to sail. Be careful, for they are evil and very dangerous, Mama Echo cautioned. Prince Okpame was not afraid. After all, in a few weeks, he was going to die a cursed death, and he decided he preferred to die in battle, rather than whatever unknown death awaited him by the end of the 3 moons. Why would you want to risk your life for people you don't know? She asked. The prince could not tell her of his curse. So together they set out to rescue little Esosa. They navigated treacherous ravines and crossed glistening streams until they reached the camp of the slave hunters. There they saw many children, some from Ora, others from neighboring villages. Dear children, do not worry, Ejemen told them. We are here to rescue you. Ejemen got to work and began freeing the children, while Prince Okpame, with the stealth of a leopard stalking its prey, went to find and kill the slave hunters, and then hurried out to meet Ejemen with the freed prisoners. As dawn painted the sky in hues of pink and gold, Prince Okpame and Ejemen emerged from the camp, a trail of freed captives following in their wake. Among them, with wide eyes and a joyous smile, stood Esosa. They arrived back in the village, and one by one, the freed children ran into the arms of their parents. Everyone was happy, but it was not for long. We are grateful to you for rescuing our children, Mama Ego said. But now, the slave hunters will be angry. They will come back with reinforcements. They will capture everyone in the village, both old and young, and take us all on the slave ships. And there will be no one to save us. This is true, the villagers cried. Please help us, they begged Prince Okpame. Prince Okpame only had a few days left before the Oloi's curse became a reality. He decided to help the people fight against the slave hunters. With a steady voice, Prince Okpame addressed the villagers, sharing his knowledge and guiding them in the art of self-defense. He demonstrated stealth warrior techniques, encouraging the villagers to embrace their inner strength and unleash their hidden potential. With each swing of a sword and each step of a dance-like battle maneuver, Prince Okpame instilled confidence and belief in the hearts of the people of Ora. Ejemen observed Prince Okpame closely, her admiration growing with every passing moment. She saw the patience and care he displayed, treating each villager as an equal and empowering them to rise above their fears. Her heart stirred, and a deep connection blossomed within her, a feeling she had never experienced before. Finally, the day of reckoning arrived. The cruel slave hunters, ignorant of the strength nurtured within the village, descended upon Ora like a swarm of vultures. But this time, they were met with unexpected resistance. Led by Prince Okpame, the villagers fought fiercely, their newfound skills fueling their determination. Settled, Ejemen's gaze shifted towards Prince Okpame. Her heart swelled with admiration and trust, for he had proven himself not only as a protector of Ora, but also as a caring and selfless individual. Prince Okpame, oblivious to the newfound admiration from Ejemen, was already planning on how to leave the villagers and return to the rainforest and await his cursed fate. "I will need to leave soon," he said. "Don't be silly," she said. "This is your home now." Ejemen realized that their connection went beyond, and she had fallen hopelessly in love with the mysterious prince with the Ebe markings. She reached for his lips and planted a soft kiss on them. In that moment, little shimmers illuminated from within the prince, elevating their bodies together off the ground and floating them above the skies. The villagers of Ora gasped in wonder at such a sight. There and then, Prince Okpame knew that his curse had been lifted, and he had found a home in Ora. Ejemen and Prince Okpame decided to marry and create a life together in Ora village, their love becoming a symbol of unity and strength for the entire community. The end.